At last, we're varnishing and starting to like make it look nice and protect it. I'm spilling little bits and making a mess. So yeah, I don't want to paint. I want to see all the wood grain. I like all the wood grain. So I want it to be like a little wood cabin. So I'm decided to varnish everything. I'm using floor varnish. I'm not using yacht varnish or anything really expensive. I just want something that will completely seal all the wood. And it's taking ages. Fucking. And I've how many coats do I got to do? 3? I've definitely got to do 2, but I've just noticed a bit of masking I've done over there. It's just look at this. What the hell is that about? Has that moved? God knows. Basically, I'm just wasting my time because I just want to see it looking dark and walnutty and nice. But like I said, it might be a couple of months before I get the worktop sorted. So at least it's like treated and looks nice for the time being. So I'm back the next day to do a second coat. I'm really pleased with this walnut varnish. It's wicked. I know I'm an absolute noob. So anybody who's like already a carpenter or done this before is like, what's this guy on about? But I've never done any of this before. Well, that's not really masked it off. That'll be alright. Yeah, that should be fine. Hopefully it's not worse anywhere else. Like that. I think the other varnish is nowhere near as dark as that, but it's dark oak, so that's walnut, and that's dark oak, so yeah. You probably just won't notice bits like that. Plus, like I said, I'm probably going to put like a corner of some sort of mastic across there that'll cover all that. I'll see if I can find some sort of brown Sikaflex or brown silicone of some sort. Oh, that's a bad bit. The fact that I've varnished all this is a bit overkill. Like, as you can see, this is just a mock-up. I just put 12mm ply that I had spare. I just cut it to fit around this, just obviously so that I have somewhere to put stuff and to do stuff. But yeah, as I'm starting to varnish the whole van to treat it all, this will eventually be a nice kitchen worktop, which I kind of just want to look exactly like that anyway. I don't know when I'm going to get around to doing that, because I need to varnish everything else first. I need to get a sink, and then I can get a worktop and get that cut in. So might not be that far off, but I just thought whilst I'm here and whilst I'm varnishing all this, it just took me an hour or two to give this a couple of coats. So even if it's just for the next month, I can use this. I've got the this is a Max Air fan. I've got the Max shade for it, which is another thing that screws onto here and then has like a LED lights around it, and it has like a shade across it. I just bought them as a pair when I got them, but even though I've got the tallest van I could find, I'm 6'1". There's loads of room in here, but I don't know if I want to lose another inch here, because it sticks down about an inch. And also I don't think I'd ever leave it closed, because I actually really like the amount of natural light that this lets in. Watch this. It won't be very accurate because the camera will adjust to the darkness and then make it look lighter, but I mean, if I had a shade on that, it would be pitch black. And there's a good bit of light coming in there, but up in the bed over here, it is pretty much pitch black. I just quite like that little nice bit of light coming through, so I'm not sure if I'm ever going to put the shade thing on. Next job is annoying. I'm gonna have to mask all the little hinges. They can screw off easily, that's fine. But all these little hinges need masking. And at the back. With these sidewalls, I'm like these two, I can take them off and varnish them and put them back up. But these ones I can't now, they're permanently there. But what I can do is just remove all of these bolts and this piece of wood will stay where it is. Then I can varnish it, let it dry, and then screw them back in. So yeah, to be fair, doing this isn't really that bad. It only takes a minute to mask that off, and then I can paint around that with a brush, varnish around that with a brush real easily. Okay, I'm under pressure here, so it's taking me fucking ages. And it took me 3 minutes to do one. Just making a start with the oak colour. So yeah, the ceiling's all dry, obviously. And I was a little bit anxious because obviously the walnut's very dark. I was a little bit anxious that this was going to be too dark, but I really like it. It's not too dark at all, as I wanted this to be darker, not too dark. I wanted to find a negotiable medium, and I think I have. So I'm pretty pleased with how that's looking, so I need to crack on. So much disruption. Turn this into a work site. Go down the pub, get some food, come back and turn it back into a home. Then turn it back into a work site tomorrow to carry on. I don't know. I might go and stay somewhere else tonight and just leave this so I can carry on with it. I'm not sure if I talked about this in my first video, but I'll show you, I guess, once I've taken this panel off. Basically, I didn't want to screw anything into any metal in my van. I didn't want to screw any like screws into anything. So there's basically not a single screw screwed into any of my metal, none on the floor. I just used Sikaflex on the floor to stick aluminium sort of stud-work down, and then insulated in between that, and then I screwed my floor to the aluminium stud-work, so the whole thing is bonded to the floor, and then it's one piece. So now that everything's connected, that like will never move. So yeah, I'm not worried about the floor not being actually screwed into the floor of the van. It's basically just glued on with Sikaflex, but like I said, the whole thing is one piece now, so it cannot go anywhere. But yeah, not only did I not want to screw into any of the metal, because it seems like people just basically use like self-tapping screws, just screw stud-work into the metal, which means you've drilled holes into, like screwed holes into your metal, broken the paint, and just left it to be able to rust underneath. And then hopefully it wouldn't rust, because you shouldn't get any moisture down there. But at the same time, it just seemed a bit counterproductive to me to like create damage, basically. There we go. My masking off didn't work too well. Oh, you can't even really see. But yeah, I basically just got rivet nuts and installed rivet nuts into the metal work so that I can just screw bolts in and out. I haven't put any stud work on this side because, well, I didn't need to, because I'm not attaching anything to the stud work. I'm just using these to bolt everything up. So as you can see where all the holes were, where all the things are, all these bolts, when I make cabinets, I'll just put them over the top and use those same holes and bolt through, so everything's just held together. Yeah, so on the other side, I did put 18mm stud work in because there was a wiring loom running along. So I basically had to go around that, and also the wiring for all my lights and stuff is on that side. So that goes in between the stud work, whereas I didn't need any space behind here. It would have just been added weight, and I would have lost some width, basically. And actually the main reason is because here, where I sleep, my head has to tuck under that. So if this came out any further, there's just more edge for me to hit my head on. Like, I'm 6'1" and I sleep sideways. This is why I'm doing the van the way I'm doing it, and to use the full width of these bits. This is like an inch of that like Dodo Map expensive insulation, so I'm happy that that's enough. And obviously up here, this is like 6 inches thick with Celtic sheep's wool. But I want these cutouts so that I could sleep sideways and utilise a lot more space in the van. And then I just thought I may as well just carry it along, have a wider kitchen, and in my little sort of living area have more space there as well, rather than just boarding straight over the whole lot of it and just filling it all in with insulation. I think it's unnecessary because, like I said, there's an inch of this anyway. So yeah, there's a tiny little bit of wiring loom here that sticks out only by a tiny bit. So I had a few washers here and here just to make this piece of wood stick forward a little bit. So I might do something about that now and put something on the back side of here. Just put a little piece of wood behind here just so this bit sticks forwards a little bit, so it comes around this. turns out spending, what was it, nearly 3 minutes each masking off these hinges was a complete waste of time, because it's actually a lot quicker to just cut it in and a lot easier. I don't know. I guess I didn't really take notice of how much of a lip there was and how easy it is to actually just cut in like that. And to be honest, even if I get a bit of varnish on the front of the brass, it just wipes off straight away. So I wasted loads of time masking off a load of these hinges for no apparent reason, basically. See, there you go, just gone straight onto it and just wipes off. I'm really looking forward to, as I've said before, finishing what I'm doing and getting on to the next bit. This varnishing is pretty long. I'm very, very glad to have finished all this varnishing and not have to carry on doing it. But also, I'm really keen to get all the varnishing done so that I can start like putting stuff away. Basically, I need to like varnish inside of all the cupboards and stuff as well, and all the shelves and stuff. But my stuff is just all over the place. My stuff's just scattered around, like my clothes are like here, there and everywhere, and some of it's in boxes still, and some of it's at my studio, and it's all coming together now. Like, for anybody that watched my first video, you kind of know what's going on. And yeah, I'm basically living in here. I'm not really ready to live in here yet. I'm having to eat out a lot, and it's not ideal. It's fun at the time, but I am trying to be healthy as well and not spend loads of money on food as well. Like, I fast every day, I only eat one meal a day, so I don't spend a lot of money on food. But eating out all the time is just a rip-off, isn't it? So it's a bit of a mess in here because I've been painting inside the cupboard just to seal it white on the inside. So I varnished the outside and then just paint the inside just to sort of seal it off and make it a bit brighter. So if I'm in there looking for my things, it's easier. If I'd have varnished it, it would have been too dark in there really. So yeah, there's stuff everywhere. But it's a bit darker than I thought it was going to be. That's actually making it look probably lighter because of the lights, but then I am going to have some more lighting in here somewhere. The brighter I have the lights, the better you see the contrast. But I'm pretty pleased with it. It's made me potentially change my mind about having a dark kitchen top. I might do a really light kitchen top, and I'm probably going to do like a really light floor as well. This is just temporary at the moment. Once I've finished all the varnishing and painting, and pretty much now, I can get a floor and do the floor, so that'll be coming up soon. But this material has just arrived, which is for these little recesses, for these cutouts. This will be the kitchen, so I'm potentially going to do like some sort of metal checker plate there, but there'll be a cabinet here, small one. So yeah, behind the bed will be, and at that end will be this material, and it's pretty special.